So, exactly 12 years ago today is when my entire life changed, and I would say it's probably for the best because it actually led me to where I am now, I would say. 12 years ago today, as of February the 1st, back in 2009, I got arrested and I went to jail for assault. Now, it wasn't really anything bad. I know what it sounds like. It was a big misunderstanding, I guess. My dad basically buttered up the cops. So what happened was me and my brother got into an altercation. It was entirely his fault. He started screaming bloody murder like I was going to kill him. My brother's 4 years younger than me, so I was 18. And he called my dad. My dad was a cab driver, a very creepy cab driver. So we lived in a gated community. The cops show up, or I'm sorry, my dad showed up. He was on the other side of the gate. He couldn't get in to get to me. And he's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass." And I was like, so the cop shows up, and basically, I got arrested because my dad started saying I saw the whole thing, even though he didn't. So that's where it changed my entire life. And I was always kind of a good kid. Like, dude, I didn't even cuss. I was that kid that was always like, "Oh darn it, oh shoot." So no foul language even came out of my mouth at that time. So I moved in with my buddy because I got kicked out over this, this whole nonsense. And my buddy actually asked me if I wanted to move in. I said sure, and that's actually how I got into start making films and videos and all that. And I'd say that's where I agree that my life changed because I really like making videos. That's like my go-to hobby. I like this more than video games. And we called it Bleeding Rose Productions. I know. Can you just like feel the My Chemical Romance, like Green Day, and the used vibe to all of this? You know what I mean? So, as of now, I want to start a podcast. I've been talking about it off and on for a while. Funny enough, I've been talking about this for a couple of years now. I wanted to do a podcast. I really like these. I always listen to podcasts. And I've been trying to think of a name for it all day. And my grandmother told me I should name it Blacklisted, since my current YouTube channel, is blacklisted on YouTube. And it's not a big deal. I don't really care because I'm not going to, be censored or whatever. I'm going to say whatever I feel like saying. I'm going to be me. And that's what I like about it. But for the podcast, I'm not going to I'm not going to be Justin. I'm not going to be Bazby for that. I'm going to be a little bit more professional. So I actually made another YouTube channel, and I made another email. So as of now, I have 24 emails. Do not ask me why, but I have 24 emails. This is my new official channel for the podcast. It is going to be called Bleeding Rose Podcast, or The Bleeding Rose Podcast. And I'm picking the name because it was 12 years ago today that Bleeding Rose Productions was born, which got me into making films from the get-go. And I figured, why not just redeem that, as cringy as it sounds, and just go on with the podcast for it. So that's what I want to do. I mean, I feel like the name could be a little bit better. I'm not going to lie. Like, I kind of like to leave all that teenage shit that I did, like all the teenage angst, like leave that back in the old days where it belongs. But I mean, dude, come on, it's been 12 years. You know what I mean? And also my friend, his nickname was Screech. Funny enough, today too, the actor who played Screech from Saved by the Bell passed away from, I guess, lung cancer. I kind of feel like this is all just kind of making a little sense to me, if that makes sense to you, because it makes sense to me. So I don't know. But what I wanted to do with my podcast is just talk about things that I like. I don't necessarily have to make those for YouTube, but just like go on rants and talks and stuff. I have a couple friends that wouldn't mind popping in on it as well with me. And if somebody wants to hop in Discord or whatever, like, we can talk. Just something, fun for me to do. I like doing this kind of shit, and I feel like it'd be a good little thing for me to do, So if anybody's watching, if you guys want to hop in, we can do a podcast. Like, I'm totally down for that. I want to do maybe one a week. The main thing I wanted to do is finish off where YouTube took me down, and that was the legends of old internet. I really like talking about this kind of stuff, and I feel like just making the videos, because I don't edit very well, and I know I got a couple of people who's offering to edit for me, and I really appreciate that. I'm not going to forget about you. It just, I haven't really decided on what I'm going to make yet that will require me to have you edit for me. Maybe a couple gameplay videos, because I do want to play Spore. I said I would play Spore for my channel. It's been a long time. And I wouldn't mind playing some video games on my channel too, because like the Chris Chan stuff, I'm going to run out of it at some point. Even though there's a lot of Chris Chan stuff I want to do. And there's other things too, but I don't necessarily always have the time for it. And I figured, you know, like, why not? Well, you know, let's just play some games. I need kind of a small break from World of Warcraft anyways. So we can just do little fun little things like that. And if you guys are down to edit for me for that, I would love you forever. As emotional as I can get. So, I'm fucking tired, can you tell? That's when I get into these Twilight rants. But yeah, I want to make a podcast, and if you guys be interested in that, I'm going to go ahead and leave the link in my description for this video. Hopefully you can find the channel that way, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.